Hey, officially on the East Coast. Good afternoon. And for all of my people on the other coast between the East Coast and the West Coast, good morning. Welcome to Motivating the Motivator. Today we have Teresa Ellis, and she's coming on in a few minutes. But I just want to clear up a few things. First, last week we were supposed to have Sonia Herbert on, but we know technical difficulties happen, so that's what happened. But she will be on. Hey, Robbie, wait, let me say hi. Oh, she's in. Wait, I'm gonna have her join in now. So hold on. Join in. Teresa's here, and a few things right now. Hey, hey, Liz, how are you, honey? So, just a few quick things. One, Sonia will be on with me on Wednesday evening at 6:30. So the good thing is, I don't cancel. I just postpone. That's one. Oh, she's so gorgeous. There's Teresa.
Who would think hella early in the morning puts on fucking lipstick for you, me?
Wait, everyone who's watching is going to find out the story of the lipstick in a second. Wait, one more thing. I was telling them that Sonia's coming on. We had to reschedule from last week, but Sonia's coming on this Wednesday. And what's so special about me mentioning Sonia while Teresa is on, and actually mentioning my Tuesday guest, which is Bianca, what's so special about, what's so special about all of that is the three of us, Bianca, Teresa, and I, were brought together because Sonia put together this group, Black Girl Pilates. So all of this is all just kind of like extra juicy, deliciously special to me. So I might be a little more woo-woo than usual.
Unusual, oh God.
Oh my gosh. Wait, girl, you know, I got to put my glasses on. I can't see. I'm trying to read all these people who are waving at me. So sweet of them to join. And I'm like,
yeah, don't squint because that's not cute. Y'all, who it is?
Oh.
There you go.
So, wait, I got to turn this up so I can hear. See, I can't hear. I can't see. So, everyone, thank you for joining Motivating the Motivator. This series is dedicated to the Black women and women of color who got stuff all over me, who motivate me in all kinds of ways. And look who logged on, Sonia. Hey, Sonia. Hi, boo. These are the women who motivated me, and there's one thing you're going to realize, they're so freaking different. Now one of them is the same, but every single one of them motivates me to do something, pull something out of me. Teresa here. So she's one of my hearts. She has motivated me. Sometimes, you know, I don't get uncomfortable. That's the thing. I'm not one to get uncomfortable. So I don't have the proper word to use, but she does something where when we speak, we could go like this to each other, right? And she pulls out, if you're already authentic, you're going to accept and welcome and debate and think about the things that this beautiful human right here says to you. Because authentic recognizes authentic, and there's nothing phony about her. She'd rather walk away than be phony. She'd rather love the way she does, and her love is fierce. So if she's protecting you or she's doing something, ooh, you better accept that because she's amazing. And yeah, I know it seems like, oh, Latifah's just hyping all these women up. No, they deserve to be hyped up. They deserve praise. And this woman here, Teresa, she is the founder and keeper of Safe Space. Her company is Pilates Bar and Jams. She is an LGBTQIA plus advocate. I'll give the plus because I think
I'm just gay.
I know. No, don't listen to her. She's an advocate, living life authentically and making space See, advocates, some people think, oh, I must lead a rally. No, I think when you hold spaces for people who don't usually have those safe spaces, you're an advocate for them.
Thank you, honey.
So I feel you are an advocate, definitely, because you hold space for people and you give them permission and the opportunity to be exactly who they are and give people non-judgmental spaces to love. Okay?
Damn, he just came in and we're like, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh God, hold it down. Thank God I'm not wearing any mascara.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Teresa Ellis! Woo! Teresa, how are you, babe?
Latifa, I love you. I'm good.
I love you too, my love. I love you. She is all the way out in Oakland, so you know she loves me. It's 9 a.m. She don't have to be up.
No, really, I really, really don't. The alarm went off and I was like, this hoe. On my one day off, waking up.
Yeah, I have that effect
in the morning on a Sunday. Where am I going? I ain't going outside. We're sheltering in place.
I know. Not today. We're sheltering with purple. So let's give a little background on Teresa. First, let's talk about how we met, so everybody can understand the purple thing. We can get it out the way. I don't want to say, yeah, I'm a groupie. So I'm a groupie. I followed Ms. Pilates Bar and Jams on Instagram, and she is a member of Black Girl Pilates too. And I'd see all these posts, and I'm like, she's so freaking fierce. I didn't even know her real name was Teresa. So I get to my first Black Girl Pilates meetup. I think it was the second year, and she walks in the room. I was like, oh, Pilates Bar and Jams.
I was like, whoa, hi.
He was like, okay, hello. And we just, there are moments when you find a human that's your human. Yeah, she and I connected on that. That's my human level. And then towards the end, I was like, I love her so much, I'm going to give up one of my purple lipsticks. Any of y'all know me, you know I don't. It was just very sacred.
My lipstick game from that moment on.
Yeah, I mean, she was like, let me have your lipstick. I was like, oh, okay. So that is how we met. That is the purple lipstick thing, which I may need to reapply because I'm going to be drinking some Prosecco in a second. So
I'm drinking coffee because it's it's still early, but I don't drink.
It is. No, she doesn't drink. I'm going to do it for us. See, I'm taking one for the team. So Teresa, tell us about you. Who is Teresa Ellis?
Oh my God, she's a big old weirdo. Seriously. I think about myself sometimes. I'm just like, why? Who are you? I'm like, oh, girl, you do a lot, I am born in Oakland, raised on a little island next to Oakland, and currently live in Oakland. And love Oakland. I will claim it as my own. Thankful I was born here. I am just your 5 things that society hates. I'm Black, I'm a woman, I'm a lesbian, I was a single mom, I was a sex worker. Bling, bling, There you go. I love life. I love to laugh. As you mentioned, I love hard. I love my people. I love my people so much that I tell them about themselves sometimes. And they love me enough to say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, when it's needed. When it's not, we listen.
I love, 80s and 90s R&B. For real. I love karaoke.
Oh, yes.
I love to dance. Who am I? I am Pilates. I love my kid. I have a 22-year-old son. I have an almost 12-year-old dog named Basquiat.
He's so
Um,
adorable. So adorable. Oh my
he's a
gosh.
good dog. He's old now. He's all running. He's like an old dog. Old dogs are funny. I like watching them walk because Boscat looks like an old black man when he walks around. He's just like this.
He does. I didn't think about that, but you're right. Because I walked Basquiat. He does.
He's just like an little old black man. He's like, "What's up? How you doing?" I'm like, "All right." Yeah, I'm just a girl that lives in a weird space in Oakland, being weird, loving the peoples that I love and who will let me love them, and just trying to, live my best life. But some folks don't want me to be great, and but I'm gonna keep being great.
Yes, you
And
are.
so,
You can help
you know,
yourself.
I'm just doing the
I'm just very
things.
funny. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
let's talk about Pilates Bar and Jams.
All right.
So your company, why'd you even make it up? What is this? What you got? What you got?
Oh
Why do
my
you have
gosh.
it?
So I started teaching bar. I started teaching. I got in the fitness game in 2008, and I randomly, before I was in the fitness game, I was in real estate. And this woman, I was looking for a workout to do, and this woman, one of the people, the agents in my office, walked in hobbling. And I was like, "Oh, girl, are you all right?" She's like, "Oh my God, I just took this bar class and it just kicked my ass." I was like, "Ooh, where's this?" She was like, "It's across the street." I was like, "What?" So I went there. Hi. What's up? They were like, "Oh, hi." And I took the class and I was like, "Oh, this is fun. This is great." I was like, "I can see myself doing this. I can see myself
Mhm.
just teaching this. This is awesome." Like, I love being present in my body. I love having not to be able to think about anything, but how to make things, do things with my body. And the woman who was teaching the class was like, and I was all, okay. So I go back to work and then I come back and do the things. Just because you're in real estate doesn't mean that you're balling, because, I wasn't
Yeah,
balling. And so classes were expensive. Those classes were expensive.
yeah, they
And
are.
so I stopped going after a little bit. I couldn't afford it. And, whatever, and that's fine. But then I was talking about it with one of my friends, and she was like, "Oh, I went to Pilates training with that woman that started that business, this franchise." I was like, "Okay." And so she's like, "They're actually opening up another studio in the city. Blah, blah, blah. You should go work there." And I was like, "Okay." So I called her up. I contacted her, and she was like, "Well, we need to meet." And I was like, "Okay." So I went to go take her class. So how I look back on it, and it's fucking ridiculous. They hired within their peoples, which most people do, but
Yeah,
they watched. It wasn't about your abilities or your passion to learn something. It was, is your form good enough to be a teacher?
yeah.
My form
That's
wasn't
what
good
I
enough to be a teacher, and I was all. And I wasn't skinny. I wasn't white. I was black at the time. I had dreads, and I was like, "Okay, well, what?" She's like, "Well, I've seen you in my class." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And she was like, "You should do work trade." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do that and take class and get better." Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, "Fine." So I did work trade at the spot, and I worked the front desk, and I took class 3 days a week, and I did all the things. And I was also looking for a job, right?
Hmm.
And they were looking for a front desk person. I was like, "Well, since I'm here all the time, why don't you just hire me?" So I became their front desk person, you know, and still taking classes, doing the things. And then the front desk, the manager of the studio, thank God, I mean, she was like the only person who actually saw me as a person, like,
Hmm.
honestly. And
Yeah,
I was like, and she went to them and said, "You know what? She's amazing with the people. She's fucking awesome, because I'm me." And she was like, "We should train her." And so I came in one day. She goes, "We're training you." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh my God." It was like 2 months, 3 months. And I was like, "Really?" So I just dove in and learned the shit. I was on the schedule, and their training schedule it's a little bit, it probably is a little bit more extensive now because they're bigger. But at the time, it was not as extensive. But I was on the schedule in 2 months, and I was teaching classes. And that was when I realized that, me being me, and just welcoming and, you know, of all the peoples because of my background and stuff was like, you know, the thing, and people liked it. And so then I worked and worked and worked. I ended up working at 5 of the studios because they're all independently owned. So I worked at 5 of these franchises. I was traveling
Yeah.
all over the place. And at one point I asked the owner, the woman, the creator, I said, you know, I will, you cut me, I will bleed your logo colors, right? I would love to be able to help you, you know, do the things, like help you like expand your business. Like, and she was like, well, you know, why would you? I was like, you're kind of, you know, the customer service here is not as great as it should be. All the women that come in who want to be owners are not very nice. You know, because, and she was like, well, why do you think that is? I was like, well, everything trickles down from the top.
Right.
And she was like, what? And I was like, you are not very approachable. So people think that in order to be a business owner, they have to be kind of standoffish and aloof, and it doesn't really, you know, fly well. So that didn't go over very well. She didn't take that very well, that criticism. And or critique, or whatever you want to call it. And so then I did a little workshop on how to be like nicer to the peoples that come in, like how to be more welcoming and inclusive. And this was back in like, what, 2012?
About how to be nice and more inclusive.
Yeah, just how to be like good to the people.
Ooh,
And
we're
just be
still
like,
doing
hey,
this. Ooh, we're still having these conversations.
And they never got back to me in regards to, right? We were still having these conversations. They never got back to me in regards to if they were going to let me be part of the company to help expand it. I was like, I can travel to all these damn places and help these people be like nicer, have like better, you know, communication skills. It's not, I mean, they're coming for the workout, but are they staying? Whatever.
Right.
So she never got back to me, and I said, okay. And in that time frame, I became a personal trainer. I got certified as a personal trainer. I said, I'm giving it a year. So I did everything behind the scenes, still killed it at my job,
Yep.
still did all the things.
Yep.
And then nothing happened, and then I quit. And I replaced that job with a corporate gig, teaching bar at a corporate gig in San Francisco. And I was like,
Corporate is
out.
the way to go.
She was like, oh my God, yeah, corporate's good. And they were like, what? And I was like, I'm out. And then the other 2 studios here in the East Bay, I asked for a raise. I asked for a 50-cent raise I asked for $12, which was 50 cents for every person that was when I had a full class. They offered me 4, and then I quit. They offered me $4, and I said, I'm giving you 2 weeks notice. And they were like, what? I was like, I'm good.
This is definitely the journey to entrepreneurship. Like, we started at one place and we're like, like you said, you cut me, I will bleed your logo colors. I got you. And then you're like, but
yeah. If you don't value me, why should I stay?
Wait.
Like, why? Like, why? So then that was 2 studios I left there. So I left 4 studios, and then there was 1 studio left, and that person was awesome. Like, she was badass. She was all out in the suburbs, and I would drive to the suburbs at like 1:00,000 in the night in the darkness to go teach for her. Loved her studio, loved her peoples, you know, and was there. And then she changed her franchise to another franchise. So she left that franchise and was like, do this, because, you know, whatever. And then she started another franchise. And it was in that moment where I became Pilates certified. And then that's when my friend, you know, approached me about teaching Pilates. And then it was just time. And I went to her and I was like, Julie, it's time. I got to get out of here. Like, I can't own a studio, but I need to do something else because franchises are expensive, right?
They are very expensive.
And so, and she was like, I totally get it. And she's like, I totally support you. You know, go forth. Go forth and conquer. And then, you know, and that was scary because that was like a nice chunk of my income, right? And I was like, shit, I'm losing money. But I was like, I had to step out on faith. And I did. And then a friend of mine said, before that happened.
Right? Sorry, I'm just saying goosebumps. That's the way to do it. You got to be so daggone scared to do these things.
Oh my God. And
you
that's
can't
my
be
life.
an entrepreneur. If you're not scared, you can't be an entrepreneur.
Word.
If you're not scared, you got fear is Not a bad thing. It is a
It's
catalyst.
not. I always say that if it makes me want to vomit, then I should do it.
Yep. Yeah. I
So that happened.
believe it.
And before that, this woman who was a client at the studio in the suburbs, she had a Pilates studio in her house. And then she was the one that said to me, you should, I was like, I think you're maybe streaming some stuff. And she was like, why don't you just teach classes in your house? Your house is big enough. And I was all, oh. And then that's how Pilates Bar and Jam happened. I had another woman of color tell me, just do it. And I was all, ooh,
Yeah.
damn. And
Just
so
do
I
it.
was like, okay. And I did it. And here we are. And then now, you know, I'm closed because of Corona. But I'm still teaching.
Physically closed.
Physically closed in
Physically
person.
closed.
But
Yeah, in
hopefully
person.
virtually reaching out to the world. The
Yeah.
world.
Yes. So here's the thing about her studio. It's safe. It's supportive. It's I always use the word empowering, but it works because that's why it's the name of my company. It's empowering. And it's yeah, you get a good workout, but let's define workouts though, right? Because everybody's always like, I'm sweating, I got muscles, I got this. Sometimes the best workouts make you feel comfortable in the skin you're in.
That's the goal.
And that's one of the things Teresa and I really bond on, because if you notice her story, she was like, here I am, a Black woman. It wasn't that small. I had logs. I didn't look like it. She got strong. She got healthy in her body, And it doesn't have to look like anything. It looks like your body.
Yes.
So if you are strong and fit and comfortable in your skin, you got a bomb. That's right. What you get. That's what you get at Pilates Bar and Jam.
That's the intention. That's the guidance. That's the whole, I don't want to say it's my mission statement, but that's just basically what the thing is. You walk in being fabulous, you'll walk out still fabulous, and strong. Like, there's no coming in being like, oh, we need to change shit. The only thing we're going to change is just the way you feel about yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by people who are doing the same thing, I've never met, like, to watch these groups of women and folks and peeps, like, interact with each other in the most, ways where if they saw each other on the street, they would not speak to each other, but they speak to each other. People see each other in my space. There's no coming in acting like you are just there just to, like, be catered to, because that's not happening. I only cater to a certain amount of people, not to the others. And so when you walk in, you are walking into community, right? Like, there's no, oh, we're in this clique. No, we're all a clique. We're the strong squad, yo. If you come in, you got to be you're a team player. There's no one's better than anyone else. No, first of all, the studio is too damn small for that shit.
True that. But
I mean, come on. We're all like, and second, I just don't have time for that. I worked in that environment for way too long to be like, and I already know what it feels like to be on the outside looking in. So why would I create that? Like, why? That makes no damn sense to me.
Right. That warms my heart, because that's how I run my life too. Who has time for that? And who has time to be something other than who you are?
Word, girl, come on. Like, really? Like, I've tried to fit into that box, Latifa.
Oh my God.
I tried to fit into that box, and trust, I was like, oh shit, first of all, I'm getting a cramp. Second of all, this box is too small. Like, I don't understand. Like, what the fuck? And, I mean, like, no, like, it's just too much. Like, I need to be big. Like, I'll never forget, when I was doing real estate before I got into this job, the owner of this one real estate company was this old crotchety white man. And he was all, And he would tell people, he would give them orders, go do this, go do that, and they would do it. And he said to me, go to the blah, blah, blah and get me some food. And I looked at him, I go, am I your fucking chattel? I go, I'm not your chattel. And everybody in the office was like, and I was like, damn, can you at least like ask somebody and be like, Teresa, go over to the store, here's like some money, go get us some breakfast, me and you.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I go, don't be ordering shit. And he was all, ooh. I was like, I don't have time. That's no. Fuck you. Shit, sorry.
Oh my gosh. You know what? That is so true. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. She's doing that back when she was in real estate, when she had a boss. Now she's like, I am the damn boss. Oh, Bianca's like, Bianca wrote, ooh, I am not your chattel.
Right, I'm not.
Not your chattel. And yeah. So really, sorry, that got me a little something. I got the Prosecco went up my nose when I left. Let them know. I know. My sister's like, let them know, sis.
I'm trying over here.
I know, she is trying. So when I was fortunate enough to be able to go out to see Teresa last year, first of all, the reason why I can say all these amazing things is because about her space is because when you walk in, there could be nobody there and you still feel that. So hi Ty. Oh, my Ty is working. So I can feel that, right? But then I got to, again in honor, teach her students. It was a community class, and when they walk in, who knows what they had going on in their lives on the other side of that door. When they walk in, they know right before you step over that threshold, you can kind of shake it off and walk in, because now you can let it go. And you definitely provide that space for all these bodies to just feel delicious in themselves. Yeah, that's my word, delicious. I just love it because nothing better than that. Can you talk about a couple of the things that you do to ensure that people feel safe when they are there to take classes? I already know some of them, but I want you to give some ways that anybody and everybody who can come in feels safe. And I say it that way because also not everybody can just come on in. So let's, yeah, so let's, and it's for a good reason. So let's talk about that for a second. So how you make people feel safe when they come in and some of the things that you do while we're taking class.
I see people, like, you can't help, but I don't see them as just a dollar sign coming in here to give you money. Like, I mean, you know, the first few years that I taught and I had the studio, I wasn't making any money. Like, you know, I was just doing it because I love it. So first of all, I'm so happy that they're there, right? I'm like, come on. And I see people, like my history is seeing people. Like, I do not know how to not see people.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I see you and then I get to decide if I want to, you know, hang out with you, but I'll see you first and I'll acknowledge you and be respectful of that. Right. So I see you. I always check in. Do you got any injuries? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then I introduce everybody to everybody. This is so-and-so. This is the strong squad. And everybody's like, hey. And they're just like, oh, like, you know, it's just like, come on in. Like, we're not, you know, we're not going to be like, you know, just sit in the corner and feel weird. Like, we're going to, you know, hook you up and make sure that you feel comfortable. And then we teach the class and, you know, I tell awful jokes and everyone laughs. I mean, I tell the worst jokes ever. I think out loud.
She does, y'all. I love her, but oh, by the way, my mom just joined. Hey, Mom.
You were great last week, Mom. And, you know, I make them feel comfortable. I think also what happens during class is I encourage them to express themselves when they're in class. And so the squad, like, they're cursing me out. They're like, who the fuck are you? What the fuck is this exercise? This is some bullshit. Oh my God, is class almost over? Why is this happening to me? Why did I wake up for this? Like, you know,
And then I'm paying for this?
right. Everybody at the end. And so it's the whole, like, you know, giving. And when we could do corrections, I have consent cards, you know, that folks could use. One side is sparkly for yes, and one side is sparkly for no, because I couldn't have one side, only what the yes side be sparkly. The no side needed to be just as fabulous, because saying no is just as important as saying yes. And having your no honored is okay.
Can I just interject there so that people who are listening understand that what she just said? Like, when you're taking a class, teachers have their own ways of doing things, but if for you to feel comfortable in that class and get exactly what you need to make sure that the instructor knows, because not everybody is going to do it like Teresa does it, where it's like, okay, is it hands-on? Is it hands-off? Is it? And you should be able to feel comfortable enough to communicate with your instructor that in order to provide you with the experience that you need to make yourself stronger and comfortable in your skin, you need to be able to say that.
Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there.
No, it's true. And I know I'm not perfect. Like, no one's perfect.
Nobody
I
is.
do what I do, and no one, I am not, first of all, I'm not palatable. I'm a very, you know, I'm an acquired taste, right? So I'm not like, you know, the one thing that everybody loves. I'm like one of those like rare, like this is this rare, delicious thing from far off in the depths of Oakland. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, you know, and I feel like with that way of existing, I still know that I probably rub people the wrong way in regards to how I do my job, right? How I do my career, how I do what I love. Even with the consent cards, even with everything else, I know that there is there's still someone who's like, I'm not feeling her in what she's doing. You know, do I wish that they would tell me? Yeah, because that way I can't grow as a teacher, as a business owner, without feedback, right?
Right.
And so I encourage feedback, both good and not so good, you know. And so I think that, you know, as you know, specifically in like the climate that's going on right now with some folks not being able to take feedback and taking everything personally, you know, that's the one thing I can't do, because I've always been inundated with, you're not good enough. So I always expect, you know, so when people give me good feedback, like your love gushy gush, I'm just like, whoo, like, and I had to be like, sit in and accept it.
Accept it, yeah.
You know,
because that's what you give me.
Right.
You know, that's what you give me. So I'm glad you can accept that. That's what you give me, and that's why you're here. That's why I want everybody to know. Yeah.
And it's, you know, like motivate the motivator. I'm always hyping everybody up. Like, who hypes the hype man, you know? And so it's who loves the lover, right? Who loves, you know, who encourages the encourager. And so I appreciate you for doing this. It's a lot to take in, I'm not gonna lie. But it's necessary and it's needed, because, you know, we're just out here doing what we do, doing what we love, giving all the things, expecting nothing in return. And to be seen by someone like, you know, who is also a motivator, right? To be seen by you and to be loved by you and accepted by you and being like, you know what, I'm going to give you some hype. You're just like, what? And you're just like, what? What? You know? It's like that little video of those two cute babies, right? Where the little girl, Emma, was like hyping up her brother. She was like, go, Michael, go, Michael. And Michael was dancing. And Michael was dancing. She's like 2 years old. Michael's like 4. And then she's like, go, Michael, go, Michael. And he's getting it. Then he turns around and he goes, go, Emma. And she goes, what? And she's all, I was like, oh my God. Right. Give your hype person some love too, because they just be they
Yes,
feeling you. They feeling
we
you.
all feel that
Get.
love.
And then he's turning on her. She's like this. Oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is what
Yes.
it needs to happen. And so, and also as Black women, right, they always try to like pit us against each other sometimes and be doing some crazy shit. And, ooh,
I
girl.
refuse to get into that one. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to go against anybody, any of my sisters, unless they bother me. Then I'm going to go at them privately. We're going to have a chat.
That's different.
But,
You said a
but you're
chat.
absolutely right. You see, I did, because sometimes that's, and that's not Pac-Man.
It's not a chat. It's even a chat.
I'm sorry. It's so funny. I was like, oh, I hope we can stay on focus, because when the two of us, quick story, when I was out in Oakland, y'all know I'm out here on the East Coast. She's West Coast, and I go out there. We're chatting because it's 12 o'clock in the morning, which means it's 3 o'clock in the morning for me. And she's like, that. I'm just like this. She kicks me. Wake up, woman. I'm like, it's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. She's like, it's 12 o'clock. We can't make it.
Sorry. Sorry.
But the conversations are very good, though. What can I say? But that's why I was like, oh gosh, I hope we can stay on topic and stuff and not do too many, because can't help it. Let's chat. Give us a little something. You have two. I mean, you have a lot of things within your studio, but there are two in particular that I want you to talk about. You have right after this convo, you have a class for Black folks, but I'm going to let you explain what it is and all that good stuff. And you're in the second or third week of the Butch into Power.
Finished the second class, the second session of the Butch into Pilates.
Butch into Pilates. I said Butch into Power. Butch into Pilates sequence series. So let's talk about both of those.
Okay. So Butch into Pilates, I'll talk about Butch into Pilates first, is a 4-week series, a beginner series for Butch lesbians. You know, because I'm a lesbian, I'm a gay, and I have 2 pussy rings to prove it. And I do. So my friend, one of my friends and Strong Squad members, is a Butch lesbian, and she's been training and practicing with me for about a year and a half. And she said, you know, Teresa, you really need to do this for Butches. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And that was when we were in studio, but when it never happened, she kept saying stuff. I was like, yeah, let's make it happen. But you know, you say stuff and nothing happens. And then shelter in place happened, and we would still do stuff online. And she's like, Teresa, you really need to do this for Butches. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Because in studio, I'd only be able to have like maybe 5 to 8 people.
Right.
Out of studio, online right now, we have 16 Butch lesbians of all flavors, of all colors, taking class. And it's so fabulous, and they're loving it. That's the most beautiful part. It's so, you know, Butch folks, Butch people, Butch women, they, you know, being masculine women, they always, you know, the world hates them just as much as they hate us. They're confused by them, like, why, you know, like, so my whole thing was like, well, let's do it. And as a femme who has dated Butches in the past, I was like, I can hold that space, you know?
Right.
And I was a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because that's a lot of people's, and I didn't know how they were gonna show up. But luckily, my friend, we did it in collaboration. And so she got to share her experience with doing Pilates with me. And then that kind of like eased everyone's, like, she was like, this is gonna be hard, it's gonna fucking test you. You know, it's the only fitness modality that I've ever cried in. I'm like, word, you know. Wow. So
yeah, true.
And so they were like, okay. And so I made it really, I intentionally did it where it's like, because I don't have a Butch body, right? I don't present as Butch. I don't walk around as Butch. I made my friend the spotlight. I spotlighted her on the Zoom call. I was like, I'm just going to teach the class. They're going to watch you do the moves. because this is your all's class. It's not my class, you
Right.
know? So I spotlighted her, but I could still see all of them. And, you know, and basically I just taught the class and teach them and watch, like, you know, they have an armor that they wear to protect themselves from the world as masculine presenting women. And I literally, Latifa, could hear the armor just coming off, ting, 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 ting. And I was like this, you know, and then I felt like I was just privy to a situation and to an existence that these women have, right? That these folks have, that they only present to their most closest people that they feel safe with, right? And I was just like, holy shit. Oh my God, like everyone was like, that's hot, that's hot. I'm like, this, yeah, I can see how you can think that's hot, but this is something different. Like this is like watching people go from all heady to all in their bodies, like move the focus from here, because a lot of folks disassociate, just in like people in general disassociate from their bodies. And so with trauma and stuff happening, and to watch people like just settle in, right? Settle in and just be like, I'm here, I'm gonna be in my body. That was magic for me. I will, and it was magic. So my whole thing now is like, let's go. Like this is why I do the work. Like the status quo can kiss my ass. I do not care about fucking having, you know, some skinny white blonde, long-haired lady rolling through my spot doing some shit. No, there's so many studios for those people. Right? There's hardly any spaces for folks who have bodies that want to be in their bodies. And so after the first, you know, session last week, I got like some messages being like, oh my God, I can totally feel my body. I got messages from partners being like, oh my gosh, I'm watching her be in her body. Thank you so much. What? You know, and then my friends, like, I'm getting messages. People are like, what? Butch Pilates? Butch Pilates? I mean, I want some. I want that. I'm like, whoa. So now it might become a constant thing. Like, this was just a pilot to be like, see, like, would folks want this? And I got there's a woman who teaches Butch yoga, right? And has been teaching Butch yoga for years. Years and years and years and years in the day, is good at what she does, all the things. She's taking this series, and I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. I was like, I get to hold space for you. I'm on this, I mean, like, if I get to hold space for you, because you hold all this space for so many people, what an honor. And she's like, I am so humbled by this. Because, you know, yoga and Pilates are not the same, even though people think
they're not.
You know, and you, as a yoga and Pilates teacher.
Yeah, you have to switch one brain off and get the other one on, because even the breathing is different. Yeah. So, yeah. You don't breathe into your belly in Pilates. No, the rib cage opens up. Open up the rib cage and exhale, belly button to spine. So different. So for her to take it, for her to feel like you're providing this space for somebody who does something, a modality that's different, like really different.
I was like, woo! It was really good. So yeah, Bridget's asking for us to talk about holding space. So holding space, Bridge, is
and not
like,
get tired.
Wait,
and then answer the last part. How and not get tired? No. Yeah.
Well, I love what I do, right? I love what I do, and when I'm teaching the fitness, oh my God, my dog is like rubbing on my leg right now. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Can you feed me? Can you feed a homeboy? Can you feed a dog? So I would show you, but you're all like meticulously set up. So how I hold space and not get tired is I remove myself from the situation. This is how I haven't burnt out from fitness for the last 12 years. It's not about me. I love beginners.
Yeah.
I love people who have never done something before.
That makes me so excited.
I love watching people come into their own. I love holding that space to be like, no, you got this. Just watch this. Watch this when you do this one thing. And then you watch the transformation. You're like, that's it. Holding space is like, basically, it's like not getting tired makes it not, I mean, trust, I get tired, but it's what fuels me, right? It's what fuels me to keep going. Holding space is just what I do. Like it's in my DNA, unfortunately, fortunately, you
Mhm.
know, like there is not a time when I'm not holding space. And so how do I, so when people are done, I kind of like sit in the studio before I go back to the living side. Like even online, I will sit on this side of the room when the class is over and I have like 15-20 minute moment of being on this side of the room before I go home over there, right? And so I just need to like shift the focus because it's a lot. Like I have to like process it. I don't meditate. I don't do any of that, but I have to like release it and have it go through. And when people would be in the studio, I would do the same thing. Sometimes I would sit on this side of the room for an hour just to like
Yeah.
let it dissipate because I would have to let it dissipate from my person before I could
Oh God,
before
yes.
I could go back to
Yeah.
my life. And it's great because I have a friend that's a therapist and she sent me a message. She's like, all right, I'm gonna sit here. I'm done for the day. I'm gonna sit here for about 15-20 minutes to transition. And I was like, I thought I was the only one that transitioned. And I
No,
was
you
like,
have
oh,
to.
you know, like so I admire people who are like, okay, up, and they're like, bye. And I'm like, whoa, like where's the like, oh, like let it go. Like even when I'm at my corporate gigs. So it's holding space is just basically seeing the people, not dialing it in. You can't just phone it in. You can't phone in fitness.
No,
You can't. You just can't phone it
no.
in. Be like, here's my plan. And then you were watching everyone struggle, be like, well, this is what I planned today. And you're like, I have a plan too, but sometimes I gotta be like, oh shit, this plan has changed.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So that's how you hold space. It's not about um, doing that. It's about just like not dialing it in. It's just, being in it. And I think that for everyone it's different, but for me, holding space is like it's healing, right? It's a healing. And it is exhausting, Bridget. It is so
It is so
exhausting.
exhausting, but it's
However,
so
I
worth
do a
it.
lot of shit. I make sure sometimes I sit at my house, I play solitaire on the phone, on the computer.
Gotta
I
have
have this other
something.
game. I have this other game called Cooking Diary. I just tune the fuck out. I don't drink, right? So I can't like throw it back. So I'm just kind of like, what can I do? I don't want to do Pilates right now. That's the one thing. I just taught some Pilates. I'm not trying to do the Pilates, you know.
My
So
sister
yeah,
just said something about walking into your door, like sounds like decompression after a long day in corporate America before walking into your home. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
That's
Levon,
exactly
that is
what it
so
is.
true. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
exactly what it is. And
yeah.
it's you just gotta be like whew, and just let it go, let it
You
go,
sure do.
even though I've
Let
never
it
seen that movie.
go. I've never seen it
Yeah.
either. But
Yeah.
it's so funny about holding space because I'm like, I don't even know the next words. I just know let it go, let it go, let it go. The holding space thing and not getting tired. I think we all always get tired. Um, I know a lot of times I can become mentally exhausted, but your passion, you mentioned that definitely. If you're passionate about what you do,
Oh my
that
God.
gives you the all you need to get up in the morning. If you're
Yep.
passionate, you're like, you know what, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. I just want to stay here and pull the covers up over my head. And then you think about that client who has been with you for 2 weeks, 2 years, and then last week they had this amazing breakthrough. And you're like, oh my God. And some of my clients, I still jump around from them. I think all my clients have had them forever, and they do something like,
Yeah.
because we're
Yeah.
like, we've been building up all this time for that one moment. And it's like,
Yeah.
there's all this glitter and
Yeah.
rainbows and unicorns jumping out of your heart. Maybe me,
Yeah.
but
No.
yeah, because you're like, holy wow, we, and that's the other thing. You and I and a lot of other teachers that I know, we don't just see our students as students. It's a we. This is a process that we are going through together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going through this together, and there's something amazing when you know that you're having a difference in someone's life. And as much as you're having a difference in that person's life, they may not even know it, but they're having a difference in your life as well.
Oh, fuck yeah, for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
For real. It's a dance. I like to think of myself as an artist because A,
Yes.
I'm an artist. And then B, I'm an artist that got into fitness. So I'm watching these bodies. I'm like, how do I translate out of my mouth into their body exactly what I want?
Exactly. All my people call it, I'm like, oh my God, what's the choreography today? We're doing fitness, like regular. They're like, what's the choreography? Because, hey, I'm a dancer. Hey. So it's like, there's always this, what do we, because you see, you and I are just like, for any old thing, there's an artistry.
Yeah.
There's an artistry to this. And there are these beautiful canvases called our students and our people.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so to watch it and then see it translate, and I'm like, these are like, I don't want to say molds of clay, but it is. It's kind of like you're like a choreographer, right? Like you said, like what's the choreography today? It's like reach your arm, but don't just reach it. Like move it, like use your muscles. I go, would you go to a dance performance and the dancers were just like meh, with their arm out like this, or would you want it to be reached like you're reaching? I go, be like a telenovela, reach for me. Like be some dramatic, you know? Like seriously, I have to like pull some shit out. Like I make stuff on the fly, you know, and I'm like, just do this, do that. Like you're my newest thing is like you're a chaise lounge and you're looking up and you're like, who's making all that noise? As you up in your ab curl.
I love it. I'm gonna use that one. Yeah.
All that noise. And then you come back down.
Yes. So we don't have a lot. I can't believe we're like only have a few minutes left.
Okay. So oh my God,
she's got a class coming up. Yeah. Talk about your class coming up.
So that's called Pilates While Black. It is. I just finally came out of the fog of all the stuff that's been going on regarding deaths and people and white folks suddenly waking up like for the umpteenth time in life over the last 400 years or so, to all the things. And just this last iteration, I was just like, talk about exhausted, having to deal with this latest while sheltering in place during a pandemic and dealing with another pandemic of my life, while by myself in my house. And I can't even hug my people to like get support. So I've come out and I was like, oh, okay, let me do a thing. Like, if I'm feeling this way and I'm, the one thing that I would do, because I've been teaching Pilates like every day now and doing all the movement with my peoples in class, I was like, Pilates has kept me like solid. I go, so let me do this free class called Pilates While Black for Black folks. It's at 10:30 today.
1:30 Eastern. 1:30 Eastern. 10:30 Pacific. So that means y'all can still take it. So DM her once we're off so you can.
Yeah, so if you go to my bio here and click on the link and then click on the thing that says register for Pilates While Black, put your sign the waiver, and then I'm sending out the link, the Zoom link at 15 minutes before class. So at 15 minutes after this is over, I'll be sending out the link. Yeah. And we're just going to do a 45-minute class of just moving the body and feeling all the things. And what I love about this is like, I looked at right now I have 25 people and I only know 4 of these people.
So dope.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm super excited and this is just putting a thing on the Instagram. These are all Instagram people. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm more excited than nervous. It makes me want to vomit. So that's why I got to do it.
So it must be good. If you want to vomit, then it's good.
I love you so much, Latifah.
I am so excited to see you.
So let me just hype you real quick. You are amazing and fierce. What I love about you is you are also 100% authentically yourself. I love the love that you radiate. I love
Oh,
how you see people. I love how you show up. I love, like, just you are genuine to your soul. And if your mother is still watching, thank you, mommy, for creating this beautiful human. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because you are like I feel like like I found my other half, and I'm so sad that we live on opposite coasts.
I
Like, it
know.
every time we talk, I get off the phone and I'm like, damn it. Why
Damn.
doesn't she live next door to me? Why doesn't she live in the same city as me? You're that person I'm going to show up at your house and sit on the fucking couch and and
And
open up
just,
your food and eat your food. Like,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
you
My
know,
mom just
and
sent a
vice
little
versa.
kissy face thingy.
Oh, thanks, Mom. But you are that person, and I've
Thanks,
been like,
sweetie.
I have amazing people in my life,
You
but
do.
there's very rare moments where there's someone that gets deep into my soul and
Right.
makes me want to like snuggle them all the time. And I want to snuggle you all the time. Like, I just want to just always be snuggling you, and just be like, I love you, and just have you just close. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
hold you so dear to me. I think about you often. I'm a
Yeah,
horrible
we
texter,
do. Thank you.
but
Yeah.
I think about you all the time.
Just a quick note to end. When I got out to Oakland, she opened the door and I fell into her arms and cried because I was like, I'm going through a lot. And I cried because I was supposed to be there. And she
Yeah,
opened up her arms like, yep, you are.
yep.
Come on. Come on.
Mhm.
That's what Teresa does.
I
That's
love
what
you.
I love you, sweetie. And I thank all
Mhm.
of you for joining us for this amazing conversation. Remember,
Thank you.
click in her link, click in her profile for the link for Pilates While Black. She's an amazing teacher. What you get, is what you get because she's freaking
Yeah.
awesome. So, and we show up. Anybody and everybody who takes our classes know we show up. We don't get a persona. We just show up. It's who we are. It's exhausting to be somebody else. It's already exhausting to be in this skin and to just continuously radiate our delicious, gorgeous powerfulness, but we show up. And this woman here, I hope you all enjoy the class that she's about to teach because you're going to have an experience. So
Oh,
do
thank
that
you.
Pilates, get well with your bodies.
Oh,
It
I love
always
you.
starts here and trickles down. This is what she's gonna do for y'all. We gotta do a body roll.
Body roll, body
Body
roll, body
roll, body roll, body.
roll. Keep. Oh,
Oh my
I
God.
needed
And you
you
know
this
we must be
morning.
good because my older sister just said she loves the great words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. And
I
Levon,
love
take her
you.
class if you can. Levon, take her class if you can, because it's so good. It's so good. You can do it right there at home if you're not studying or anything like that. Okay. Just throw my sister out at you. I
You
love
can
you,
come to my
boo.
class. I love you back, and we will talk soon. I wish that
Yes,
people can
we
see the decompression that we will be having about this conversation. That's going to
oh,
be fun.
that's good. All right.
I love you.
Love you, honey. Talk to you later. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody in IG land.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye, baby. Have a good class, okay?
Thank you, honey. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, too. Bye. Bye, honey.